All right, I think we are going live. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Listen, I have been telling you all day, right? I've been telling you how long? How long have I been telling you? I think I've been telling you probably since Monday, right? To set your notifications because something great was going to be happening. And we've had a great last couple of days. Basically, what I have been doing is I reached out to a couple of groups and said, hey, does anybody need who's new to homeschooling or transitioning to homeschooling would like to ask some questions live and I'll answer them live for you. I got a great response, got people all in my inbox, but I only took 6 people. Um, and so we have been going live. They have been asking questions. These ladies I have literally connected with maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the live, and that's about it because I wanted it to be very honest and true, and I wanted you to understand that we have not connected. This is not a ploy or anything like this. We have not connected prior to this. So today I have Glenda, right? And Glenda, right, this is the first time we're ever meeting. She has 2 babies. I wrote it down because y'all know I forget stuff. So she has a 10-year-old and a 1-year-old. All the ladies I have talked to so far have had new babies under 1. Every single one of y'all have had babies under 1. All of y'all, that's crazy to me. Me, myself, I'm way past that, right? I've got a 16, a 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. So ain't no 1-year-olds coming out of me. Jesus. Father. So she's a new homeschooler that is new to homeschooling based off of COVID, if I remember correctly, and what's happening, what's going on. And so she has given me a few of her questions that she wants to ask. And one of them I answered offline, or I will answer later on, but I know a couple of them are really good. So I want her to go ahead and ask those questions.
All right. Hi, everyone. So my first question is, what can I do during during the pandemic to make learning fun for my son, considering that everything is closed down?
So with like the socialization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that, the pandemic has been difficult for us as homeschoolers as well, because contrary to popular belief, homeschoolers are literally all over the place while everybody else is in school. We are at museums, we're at parks, we're at restaurants, we're doing all kind of field trips, we're all over the place while people are at school. And so COVID has been difficult for us because this is what you guys are seeing now is what people think homeschooling truthfully is, and it's not. So it's difficult for us as well. What I would say is you want to take the opportunity to use that time to go on like field trips, nature hikes, if you can do that. Maybe you can go to the library. I know a lot of the libraries are open, but they're doing, of course, social distancing, and then they're also doing only allowing a certain amount of people in there. Well, that's me locally. I don't know what your local library is doing. But I would encourage you to get outside, because unfortunately, a lot of those things that you would typically do for homeschoolers to get out, you're not able to do anymore. Not right now. And so just get out and enjoy nature. What are you in? What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas.
Leander.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we got tons of nature trails and all that good stuff, which I had no idea of until I started homeschooling. That you could go hiking. Now, of course, it's hotter than fish grease in Texas right now. So you want to get up early and do those type of hikes so that you're not, or early or super late. I would say early, child, because them mosquitoes will eat you alive at night. But I say get the kids up early in the morning. And when I say early, maybe around 7, y'all done at the very latest by 9, because by 9, I think the sun is starting to beat us up at that point. But you just want to do, if you want to go to the park, you can go to the park. I don't go to the park because kids are gross. And I don't want my kids to experience anything based off of kids being gross. But it's difficult in this time. And so you have to be creative. So that may be doing things differently. What if it's going outside and having a water gun fight? And talking about the water cycle and all that good stuff, maybe replicating the water cycle, something to that effect. Or what if it's going outside and, doing art on the sidewalk when it's cool, not too hot. Or you could do science projects. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of I think there's a test or a science project where you can test how hot the ground is, and then also how hot the car gets, right? And what you can do is you can make a oven out of a pizza box and some foil and bake a cookie. either in the car or on the sidewalk based off of the heat from the sun. Okay. And you use that, of course, that's the lesson, right? That's the project, but you use the lesson to get them to understand what it is. And it's something fun for them. And then they get to eat it as long as there's nothing in it, right?
Right.
So that's an option as well. I mean, even from the standpoint of, hey, let's do this. Do you think that the ground is hot enough to fry an egg? And they could say, kids, of course, no, it's not that hot. The stove is really hot, da, 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 da. You take an egg outside and fry it. And then you talk about why this asphalt or why the concrete is as hot as it is, what happens when the sun comes down and hits the concrete and all that good stuff. And so you have several different options. It's just a matter of thinking outside of the box when it comes to that. As far as visiting places, I know that there are some facilities that are open. It's just a matter of what you are comfortable with. And I'm not going to tell you not to go out if it's allowed and you feel comfortable sending your baby out or not. I'm not going to say it like that because that sounds terrible. But if you, say if there's museums, right? Like there's certain things that my son's birthday was the 14th, right? We have been pretty much locked down for the most part, but for the 14th for his birthday, he wanted pizza at his favorite pizza place, his pizzeria place. And so we chose to go as a family and have pizza in the restaurant with his birthday cake. So that was something that we chose to do. So it wasn't a normal birthday celebration for us. However, it was something different than the norm than what we were doing. Yeah. So you have to choose what you want to do. And you can't let anybody judge you about it. If you want to go out, go out. You don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You want to wear a mask, wear it. Like, just live your life as far as that's concerned. Hopefully that answered your question on that particular problem. Look at the comments real quick. Hey, Bailey. Hey, Ebony. Hey, babe, my husband's on here, y'all. Please, y'all say a prayer. Everybody in the comments, say a prayer that my husband don't get on here and act the fool. Hey, Thea D. Hey, Rhonda. Thanks for joining us, okay? So, because my husband gets in the I don't know if you've been in there, but my husband gets in the comments and starts acting up. So let's pray that he doesn't do that. He wants the best. He wants us to laugh. That's really what it's about, but it's funny when he does it. So does that answer your question as far as socialization is concerned right now in this moment?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, as well it could be answered because like you were saying, we're all limited either way it goes. So
right, very limited.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of what you want to do. And then when we're back open and you feel more comfortable, we do everything. We literally do everything. We do water treatment, the money plant, not the money plant, the mint. We go to libraries from neighboring cities. So instead of our local library is small. It's nice, but it's very small. So we go to the big city that's next to us and we go to their library because their library is like 4 or 5 stories. Wow. And so it's different, right? It's a different thing. So we even do simple things like visit other cities' parks, right? So we're used to all of our parks because we go all the time. So sometimes we'll go to a different city to see what their parks are about. And sometimes their parks are better. Just, you have to think outside the box. If you're going to take them to the park, just have you some sanitizer ready. Be ready to say every 2 seconds, don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. But you could definitely do it. It's up to you. It's just up to you. What do you want to decide? Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. And what was your second question?
Is there a right or wrong way to teach your child?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay.
There is a way that there is a right way, but there is no wrong way. There's a way that fits your child. What works for your child? I can give you advice until I turn blue in the face, right? I could tell you, do this, do that, do this. But if your baby is sitting there looking at you like, child, this is boring as all get out, you wasting time. Yeah. And so I can give you tips. I can give you all the information. I can tell you what to do, but it boils down to you connecting with your child, finding out what they want to learn, what they want to know. What I will say for parents who are moving into homeschooling because of COVID, a serious question that you want to ask yourself right now is this something that I'm going to do for the long term? Like, was I already considering it and then COVID pushed me over the edge? Or, is it something I, just want to do while this is going on? Because that will determine how you do things, right? Because I was given a coaching session the other day with a lady. And she was like, yeah, I'm homeschooling because of COVID, can't send my kids back to school. And I was like, okay, so what is your plan? Do you plan on sending them back after all this, blows over? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, homeschooling may not be for you. However, a public school at home may be for you. And the reason why is because you still want to keep them in that same thought process and mindset. Homeschooling is more freedom. It's a lifestyle. We teach doing anything, anywhere, anytime. If you watched my live yesterday, I taught my son fractions, cooking. I taught my son how to do percentages in the bank line, sitting in the drive-through line at the bank. And so you can teach in any kind of way. So if homeschooling is going to be your lifestyle, then roll with it. But if it's not going to be your lifestyle, then that's something to consider. One thing in Texas is that we're considered private school. Okay. So if you decide to return your child back to school, the principal actually has the right to say, yes, I accept your credits, or yes, I accept your work, or I'm going to give your child a benchmark and see where they are. They have that full authority and you can't really fight it. And so if you're trying to put them back into school afterwards, and you want to make sure you're following what they're teaching, because you don't want to do all this work, right? And then send them back and he's like, oh, your child goes back a grade or two because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. Good. Hey, Sean. Lord, knock my mic over. Hey, I did not tell you today I'm having a day. Hey, Sean. Let's say Rhonda said, I don't plan to do it long term. It's forced. Oh, okay. So Rhonda says she doesn't plan to do it long term. So if you don't plan to do it long term, then that's something to absolutely think about. You want to make sure that your curriculum, what you're teaching, lines up with what they're learning in that particular grade. You want to make sure that that happens. I would be more intentional as well about saving their work, because you may have to prove that your child did learn the things that they learned. So that's something to think about. So are you thinking about possibly returning him after the fact?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay,
I've been planning this since back in December because I noticed in school he's struggling. And so my original reason for homeschooling him was to try to get him ahead, or try to get him on his level and ahead. Now, when he comes to high school level, I will probably give him that choice if he wants to go to public school, high school, because I know that experience, is very, very different. So if he wants to experience that, I will give him that choice. But overall, my plan is to homeschool from now, which is 5th grade, all the way. I mean, I even plan to hopefully get him to graduate with his associates.
Okay.
So that's my desire.
Okay. So yeah, then you're good. Just again, remember, it's a lifestyle. It's not just the books. It's not just the workbooks. I say that all the time. Yes, I have a bookshelf full of books over here and back here full of books, but it's not all about the books. Yes, we read. Yes, we do our textbook work. Yes, we do workbooks, but it's not always about that. So keep that in mind when you do that. And then ask questions. Always ask questions. If you find a source, even if it's not me, right? Not even talking about me. Even if it's not me, say you find somebody that speaks to your shanana, as they say, your whole spirit, right? They just speak to you and you got it. Follow them and make sure you ask the questions that you need to ask to get the information that you need to get. Because the fact of the matter is, anybody who is willing to help you should be wanting you to be successful. So they shouldn't be basically sending you down a path that is terrible, is what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say. So,
and if they are, maybe following them anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just, you want to make sure that people are there to assist and help you. Like, just, you want to make sure that people they have well intentions. Of course, you may have people like me. This is a business for me. So yes, I do have some things that I sell. However, my goal is to make sure that you homeschool successfully. If that involves you buying something, yes, I have things that I can get you further in there, but it's more so about, let's talk, let's walk this thing through, let's walk it out, let's talk it out. So the group that we're in together, We Homeschool Too, that's a really good group. It's like blown up in the last couple of weeks. It's blown up tremendously. It was very quiet, like extremely quiet. And then all of a sudden it was, people started asking questions, and then I started doing my lives, and it was like people were joining 50 to 100 people a day. And so, yeah, it was a lot. And so check that group out. And then also I have my own group, which is Homeschooling with Sean the Guru. And it's the same type of situation. Come in, ask questions. However, the great part about that group is I'm not the only one that is a successful homeschooler. So we all come together and just answer each other's question and make sure that we're all successful. Sometimes people answer my questions like, hey, how do I do this? Oh, check this out, Sean. I'm like, oh, girl, you got it. So I don't have to do the work. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. You already did it.
Right.
So That's just something to think about it. But I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for being willing to come on my Facebook page in front of over 6,000 people, right? And
Yay.
talk about your right, tell your business, right? I'm homeschooling, I'm scared.
Yes.
And it's okay. And let me be honest with you, it's okay. There are days that I'm nervous. There are days that I'm anxious. There are days that I think I got it all together. And my kids, I told you, they're teenagers, so they're mean, they're rude, and they let me know, Mama, you tripping? Like, you ain't got this. And so just on those days, you know, there will be days where you get up and you're like, what's homeschool today? Homeschool today is Netflix. Let's go to National Geographics.
Right.
There will be days that are like that, and it's okay. Just grant yourself some grace. I'm big on granting yourself some grace. Grant yourself some grace every single day, every day. And then when a day sucks, remind yourself, brand new mercies in the morning, brand new mercies in the morning. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to ask questions. And I hope to see you in my group as well. All right.
Awesome. Thank
All
you so
right.
much for having me. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.